So guys, welcome to the second material lesson. We will get this material here a little bit more complex. So let's just call it layer 1, layer 001, so we can play with that layer. So for now it's just gray and it's not that beautiful. Let's get started here. We introduced a little bit of roughness, but let's just use the roughness breakup here to get roughness here. Nice. Let's use here a different offset, because when you don't use that you will get the same roughness noise on the copper and on the layer 1, and that's not what we want. So let's get this here a little bit bigger. Let's get this down here, let's get this up here, something like that. This is a bump input, let's get red. So let's get a little bit of another color introduced here. Let's go to the diffuse color and let's get a ramp here. Ramp, and let's have a look on this. Yeah, okay. We can work with that. Let's get another noise, something like, oh, that's not bad. Something like that here. And let's get this into the color. Let's disconnect this again and let's get this into the color channel. And now you can see we already got a little bit of color breakup here. So the cool thing is what we can do. We can now get to the noise here, and let's play here with the big noise a little bit to get. That's not bad. Oh, what I want to say is now you can play a little bit with the combination of the copper material and the layer 1 material. So I think something like that is pretty good for now. But now the lighting. Good. It's a Rembrandt setup, it's one lighting, but let's get a little bit more complex with the lighting here. So we've got one main light. That's our front side light here, right here. Let's scale it a little bit. Something like that. Let's get the value a little bit lower here. And let's just, for now, I move that to the side, and let's just copy this light here, and let's call this rim 002. Let's go into the rim light, let's lock it so we can move it, and let's just move that to the back here, something like that. And now we can see we've got a pretty nice rim light from the back. So let's make this even a little bit bigger, but for just like a thin rim light we can really get this something like that here, 0.25, and let's get this 3 here. And now you can see we've got a really nice rim light here. So the rim light is there to get the model a little bit more, to get it a little bit more plastic, so you can get a little bit more of the depth. And let's use a little bit lower value here, so something like 5 is okay. And let's adjust this again here. Let's get yeah, well, let's get 7 here. So value 7 from this light and value 5 from the rim light. The cool thing is, with the rim light you can play here with the color. So to really adjust the color value or the temp of the value quickly, you can go to texture, adjust, and here the color multiplier. So you can play with that around. So for example, you can make it red, a little bit red, and you will get something like this here. So that looks pretty good for now. Let's just get a little higher value on the rim light. Something like 6. Yeah, that's alright. 6 is not that bad. For now, the 2-point lighting setup is good. Let's go into the material again and let's just copy the whole material here. Let's go into this. Let's get here the class preset and let's have a look on this, because why not? Let's get here the 002. Let's start up Redshift again, and you will get something like this. So play with the materials. So this is now like a glassy look here, and it's this needs a little bit more samples to get out pretty good, but I like that. For example, you can go now here with the copper. And you will get something like that. So play around which material you want as a base layer, and then the second layer, and for example a third layer. So the first layer will be your base layer, the second layer will be another detail layer, so like this glass here for example, and a third layer can be a layer which introduces pretty small detail, so something like another bump map or pretty little parts you've colored in with another color, so something like get a complementary color from this, and with the third layer you can introduce a little bit more detail. So let's close this up, let's get our normal shader here back. So let's dive into the camera, let's hit the render window, and for now I want to fill a little bit this area here. For this we will need a fill light, so let's get started with the fill light here. Let's for now get the camera in a little bit more dramatic position. Let's split it again, top and bottom. Let's go to the camera, let's go here to the transform tool or the transform node, and let's get the face a little bit more in color, so just that this eye here is barely visible, so just a little bit, something like that. Let's hit the render button again. Yeah, that's pretty good. So let's adjust the lights here. Let's go with the main light, let's go a little bit here. With the rim light, let's go a little bit more to the back. let's introduce a little bit more light from the top here. Something like that. And now let's get another front light here, and let's rename this shadow fill. And this is light number 3. And let's fill the shadows here a little bit. So something like that. Let's disable that for now, and let's hit up the render view here. Let's just get the rim light. Let's disable the visibility on all the lights here, and let's get the refresh button. And now you can see this is pretty dramatic because this side of the face is pretty dark. So let's get this light here even a little bit more back here. So now let's make this a little bit bigger for you guys. Now you only can see the left eye visible, but the right eye is fully in shadow, or the right face side is fully in shadow. The rim light will lit up here a little bit, but let's try to fill in here a little bit these shadows. Not much, but a little bit. So when we enable this, it's fully blown out. So let's get something like 0.25. And now you can see, well, let's go down further because the light is pretty big. So 0.15, I think that's enough. Yes. Now you can see here is a little bit more detail introduced than before, and I think that's pretty good for now. So you can see the light here. You will get a nice contrast between this side of the face and this side. Let's go even lower, 0.1, something like that. And I think in motion graphic with contrast you can get pretty nice looks out of that. So for example, get a really cool looking motion scene, and one side is pretty good at the lighting values and the other side is a little bit darker, and you will create a little bit of contrast, and I think that's pretty good for now. So that's for this lesson, and I will see you in the next chapter, guys. In this next chapter we will go over some composition stuff, so rule of thirds, rule of odds, something like that. And I think that helps even more in motion graphic or in 3D design in general. So I will see you in the next chapter.